Well, guys, appreciate your time as always. Fired up for another game on the blue. And once again, Bronco Nation, thank you so much for these past 2 games, selling them out, being in the game, being here early, staying the entire time. Like, it is a huge advantage for us when we play in the blue, and it is our responsibility as a football team to protect it. And that's what we earn the right to do every single day. So I know this weekend, being homecoming, parent-family weekend, it's gonna be loud, it's gonna be cracking. So show up early, just like you guys have done. We appreciate you guys so much, and proud of our team this week. Especially with the win we had Saturday. Just like anything, more pats on the back, more big vision comments about stuff that's going to happen months down the road. And we got a big time opponent coming in Utah State, first conference opponent, which for us that's our goal going into every season is win the Mountain West Conference, and that's our goal. And it starts this weekend. We know Utah State, they're coming off a bye week. They probably spend every day preparing for us, just like I would do. And they got a good team. They've been inconsistent at times, but I mean, you look at Utah, they're up 2 scores against them in the first half. They're up big against Temple. Like, there's some things, and I've been a part of those games too, where it just a ball rolls a different way, a call happens, a turnover, and all of a sudden you lose the game. They're a good football team. Nate Drowning's going to do a really good job. Those guys are going to play hard, play fired up, and I know they're going to cut loose. And so we have to earn the right in how we practice, and I'm proud of how our guys have practiced through Thursday. We've done a good job. Tuesday, Wednesday were 2 of our better days. Our guys don't run from hard work. Now we got to finish the prep on Friday, and we got to make sure we go play our best on Saturday, because we know we are going to get Utah State's best. It's a big-time opponent. And, I mean, back in 2015, I talked to our team about it. I mean, we went into Logan, and Utah State beat the absolute dog out of us. And we were, just beat Washington that year. Same thing, a lot of passes in the back. This is a really good football team. They got a great group of skill on both sides of the ball, and we got to make sure ready. I'm proud of how our guys have practiced this week. We just got to continue to prep that way, and then our best is going to be enough, but our best is required.
I know the game was in Logan last year, but any sentimental thing for you as your first game as interim head coach when you played Utah State last year? And just remember about after the game, the way the players responded to you and stuff. Is that at all when you play Utah State? Do you think about that?
It didn't until I watched the game. Like, I went back to watch last year's game on both sides of the ball, and definitely was filled with emotions, especially transport myself to what I was feeling on that sideline. I never forget when I was talking to the refs pregame, and they're asking me anything you need. I'm like, I don't know yet. This is my first time doing this. Like, anything I screw up here as a head coach, come grab me. But there's a lot of emotions. And so watching the game and seeing, these plays unfold, like, they jump out to a 10-0 lead. And I remember the feeling I had on the sideline, just, man, stay with it, keep swinging. And seeing some of these plays, the plays that they made against us, and the emotional roller coaster that can happen in the game. But there's a lot of emotional ties for me. And I know even Rachel, she came to that game. That was a moment for our family, but just such a big moment for our team to keep us in it and kind of keep swinging, especially with still so much uncertainty going across our program. So, but I mean, we've played these guys every single year I've been here. Every year it's a fight. Every year we know the talent they have. They're going to be in the Pac-12 in the next couple of years too, so it's going to be an opponent we continue to see. They're going to continue to recruit and find the right guys. I mean, they did a great job in the transfer portal. They got some really good players. I think number one, their receiver is one of the best receivers we're going to see all year. I don't know where he would rank with all of them, but I mean, this guy makes big-time plays consistently. So there's our challenge. The challenge is there, and our guys got to make sure we finish our prep and we play our best on Saturday.
Players get better as they do more and understand more. I'm assuming coaches do the same. Where do you think, as far as a game coach, are you better now than when you took the field for the first time?
Yeah, I think just reps. And that's my job now, and that's what I tell our I'm not a micromanager. I want to empower our coaches. I want to empower our staff in any part of this building, right? From nutrition to offense to defense. Like, I believe in hiring the right people, empowering them, giving them support. So my job is to make sure, from a game management standpoint, our culture, our players, I'm all chips on the table with that. Like, if our players are in this building, I am around them. I am checking on them. If someone's head's down, they're on their phone, like, what's going on? Because I want to know. I want to be able to touch them and impact them for, obviously, right now, but more importantly, later in life. And so that's where I'm all the chips on the table. And then in regards to game management, like, that's what this team needs. By no means am I perfect at it. I feel good about my process, and I'm going to keep getting better, and I need to.
What was your reaction when you heard that Chris Peterson wanted to fly out here for Big Fox and interview Ashton Jeanty?
Yeah, it was funny, and so me and Coach Pete talk every Sunday. We Zoom. He's a huge mentor of mine. I look up to him in so many ways, not just football, but just leadership and how to do this the right way. And so it's funny, we were talking on Sunday just about, protecting Ash in regards just to media, because the amount of influx of podcast requests and interviews, and it's earned and deserved from him. And so we were talking about protecting him and how to do it the right way, and it was great. And I've had a lot of talks with Ash because he's such a focused young man. He wants nothing more than this team's success, and I want to help support him in that. And then Monday, Coach Pete called. He's like, I know about all that, media stuff, but I'm going to fly out and actually see him. I'm like, Coach Pete, you always got a, free reign to come out here. But I was so glad that it was him doing it, a guy that obviously is, his impact still runs through this entire facility, this entire team, this entire community. So him being able to interview Ash, and he hasn't got a lot of one-on-one time with Ashton prior, so getting that time with him was awesome. And for me, selfishly, just getting another couple hours around Coach Pete to pick his brain is valuable to me.
When you talk about picking Coach Pete's brain to protect Ashton, like who does that go back to, like the Kellen Moore era for him? Like, well, where does he draw that from to help give you advice? It's
a good question, Jay. I don't know. I didn't really ask him that. When we talk Sundays, we talk through everything from, because I'm a big message, like what's the messaging? What am I trying to really, because especially at this point in the season, I mean, these players hear my voice all the time. Like I said, I'm in every part of their life. And so, I want to make sure when I speak to them, it's a fire hose. Like I'm hitting exactly what I want to hit, and it's echoed throughout the whole building. So then, communication can be a force multiplier. And so that's a lot of what we talk about. We talk about scheduling, but I don't know exactly where he's pulling from these, but he just got it could be from Kellen, could be from certain players he had at Washington to Boise, and especially with a young man like Ashton, who is a 10 out of 10 young man. Like the more anybody that meets him is going to be even more blown away by who he is as a person. What he does on the field is, I mean, that's easy for people to watch and see, how he's the best player in the country. And even with our team, so much of it is yes, Ashton Jeanty is the best player in the country, but this is the biggest team sport on the planet. From the O-line protecting, blocking, tight ends blocking, receivers blocking, so we can get these runs. Defense, how they play, special teams. So for me, it's yes, he is the best player in the country, and he deserves every single bit of it. But this is the Boise State football team, and especially Ashton, he wants nothing more than that to be pushed to. It's all about the team. And so just trying to find, and also there's only so many hours in a day. This is a young man that lives in the training room, watches film constantly, is a student. So I just want to make sure from his day-to-day that I step in and help protect him in regards to how he's using his time, especially with the influx of media.
Spencer, just talking about emotional connections in Utah State, Cooper Jones, who spent years there, he was telling us his best friends are still on special teams over there. Can you tell there's something different about a guy when he's going in to play his former school, his former team?
Yeah, I think there's always, whenever you're playing your former team, there's got to be some different emotions, either positive or negative, depending what it is. He knows a lot of the guys in this team. But I know Cooper Jones, man, we're so glad to have him. You talk about a guy that helps us a ton on special teams. He's working his tail off on the scout team. He grew up watching the Blue. This is a part of, his upbringing. And so him coming here, I know playing Utah State, he had a lot of years of playing there and being part of that team. I know he's probably excited to see some of those players. There might be some guys in the team that he still knows and stays in contact with. But I know for him, he's just excited to go help our team win on Saturday. And even for us, CJ Tiller's over there. I haven't talked to him yet, but I wish nothing but the best for him and his. So that's where college football is with transfers and people leaving, even in conference. There's always going to be some of that crossover, and it's just the nature of the game.
Last one. Cooper was telling us yesterday, he wanted to come here out of high school but didn't work out. He wanted to come here when he was, coming out of junior college, it didn't work out. How happy do you think he is that it finally worked out now?
Yeah, he's extremely happy. This young man is a guy that since he's been here, hasn't been given anything. He's earned every part of it. He's one of our best return guys. He's smart. He works his tail off. When you watch this guy move around the building, he is a Boise State Bronco. Like that's how he is. That's what he embodies. He works his tail off. Whatever the team needs, he's going to do it. From scout team to special teams to whatever. Like he is a Boise State Bronco, and we're so thankful that he's here.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.